And hello, and welcome to our Toronto. The city of Toronto is going through a growth spurt like never seen before since the 60s and 70s, when most of what we know Toronto to be like today was conceived. It was at this time that the current transit infrastructure, as it is today, was built, and has seen only modest improvements to it along the way. But now that Toronto is growing at an alarming rate, there have been several larger transit projects that have been announced that are underway. We're going to get into each of these and discuss their advantages for improving transit in the city. So first, we're going to take a look at the Yonge-University Line 1 extension. Recently, there has been an extension of this line that was just completed on the west side that now has stations going all the way into Vaughan and terminating at the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. This connects the subway to York Regional Transit and the Viva Express network, allowing people to make easier connections throughout Vaughan. The Yonge-University Line 1 is also now planned to be extended on the east side, all the way up to the Langstaff GO station at Highway 7. Currently, there is a very large bus terminal for GO and York Transit buses at Finch Station. I would assume that these would all get moved up to Highway 7 when the subway extension is complete. This will allow people to transfer between the buses and the subway at Highway 7 instead of having to travel all the way down Yonge Street to Finch Station, reducing commuting time from Markham to Toronto. The second expansion project that is currently in the works is the Eglinton LRT. This line was supposed to be already up and open, but because of, I'm assuming, unexpected construction issues, the line has been delayed and is still under construction. Although most of the line has been completed, there are issues at Sloane and the Yonge-Eglinton station that need to be completed. This LRT will operate across east to west, about 10 kilometers in what is now relatively the middle of the city, from Mount Dennis to Kennedy. It will connect a lot of the TTC's bus lines running north and south of the city, allowing people to have easier connections to other bus lines in the city and allow for seamless transferring to the Yonge-University Line 1. At Kennedy Station, it will allow connections at a major TTC bus terminal, GO Transit, and the Future Ontario Line. It will also allow an easy connection to businesses and east to west travel along Eglinton Avenue that will really improve the vitality of the street. The third project that is currently underway is the extension of the Bloor-Danforth Line 2 subway into Scarborough. The subway line is being extended from Kennedy Station all the way up to Sheppard and McCowan. Expected to be completed by 2030, this will eventually replace the Scarborough RT that is set to be shut down and be replaced by an express shuttle bus service until then. This will not only allow better access for people in Scarborough to the subway, but it is already being planned with the forethought extension of the Sheppard subway. There have been no announcements or official plans for extending the Sheppard Line 4. However, this is not a question of if, but rather when, as it is the next logical step. Once the Sheppard Line 4 is extended to McCowan, the TTC and GO will be able to create a massive hub at this location, not only connecting the people in Scarborough, but also from the neighboring region of Durham, including cities like Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, and Oshawa to local locations throughout Toronto. The fourth and final expansion project that we're going to take a look at and talk about very briefly is the Ontario Line. This is probably the largest and most influential of all of the planned projects in Toronto. For many years, Toronto has needed a relief line to bring people to and from downtown, as the Yonge-University Line will inevitably become overcrowded. This line will be a 15-stop and 15.6 long subway line that will run between Exhibition and where the current Science Centre is. Although it has been announced that the Science Centre will be moved to where Ontario Place used to be. The Ontario Line will easily get people to the X every year. It will go under Queen Street, intersecting Line 1 on Yonge Street and University Avenue. It will also intersect Line 2 at Pape Station, and then terminate at Eglinton with seamless connection to the Eglinton LRT. It is also going to interlink between three GO trade lines. I think that this project is the most practical and needed project out of everything that is being constructed right now. Fortunately, work on this line has already begun, with part of Queen Street now closed to traffic, and is expected to be completed by 2031. The project has had some opposition to its construction already, and a couple of these have been pretty funny. At Osgoode Hall, where the station will be expanded to accommodate the Ontario Line, the Law Society of Canada has complained that they don't want to see their old trees removed as they are part of their property's landscape. They issued an emergency injunction, which was overturned by the courts. I mean, seriously, who's going to save the lawyers? Then in the area of Don Mills and Eglinton, where the Ontario line will terminate, there was some opposition to some trees being removed to make room for the train yard that they're going to need to place there. The government did bend to this and changed the location of the yard to save some of the trees in the area. But okay, sure. So Toronto has about 18.5 million trees. And after the Ontario line is complete, Toronto will still have about 18.5 million trees afterwards. But we didn't become a city, after all, of what is called the city within a park by urbanizing the cost of cutting down trees either. So there is good news and bad news in all of this. The good news is that by the 2030s, Toronto will be better for all of the transit projects that are now being planned, which will be completed by then. The bad news is that by the time we're in the 2030s, unless things change, with the way that Toronto is growing, we will once again be behind in what the city needs for transit. At this point, other cities have made leaps and bounds in their transit expansions that are already complete, while we here in Toronto have planned the transit that we would need for today for about 10 years from now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already so that you can be notified of new videos that come out. Until next time, happy transiting.